Today is Saturday, the 25th of July 2015, a day that one of the Kenyans living abroad has come to visit us, Getha Kenyans living abroad, in the name of Barack Obama. Oh yes, he's in town. But what have we done? We've taken our time to be in class. My name is Peter Omwenga,
Joy Gakungi, and Winnie Wambogo.
and the reason why we're here is because we want to present to you the topic,
Factors affecting the service quality in commercial banks in Kenya.
and why are we doing this, Winnie?
It is part of the course of fulfillment of the operations management strategy.
So sit back, Dr. Marau, and enjoy. This is our dedication to you.
To begin with, company's focus today is on customer satisfaction. How happy is the customer when they leave the bank? Customer satisfaction is measured by service quality, which is basically how the customer feels before they use the product and after they left the bank. How do they feel that they were attended to by the tellers, by the bank manager, the relationship manager, and so on. So we are trying to measure the perception of the product of the bank versus the actual usage of the product. Companies tend to leverage on technology to be able to improve service quality delivery. They'll bring in their marketeers, their engineers, and so forth to be able to listen to what the customer wants and then engineer a product that is geared towards customer satisfaction. In the modern world, the service quality is measured by what we call the quality function development in operations management. This is where you try to match the voice of the customer with the actual product that the bank is delivering to them.
There are 31 locally owned banks and the rest are foreign owned. All the forex bureaus and the credit bureaus are locally owned. However, our keen focus today is on the three big banks in Kenya. These are the three locally owned banks: Equity Bank, Cooperative Bank, and Kenya Commercial Bank. Today, we'll keenly focus on the financial institutions in Kenya. As per 31st December 2013, there were 44 financing institutions in Kenya. 31 of those are domestically owned banks. 18 are foreign bureaus, 2 are credit bureaus, and we have DTNs as well, rather known as deposit-taking microfinances. Well, the financial institution is quite important in Kenya as it focuses more on the economic growth. Keenly on this is because if any institution is to run bankrupt, well, it will be rated by the Credit Reference Bureau, and in turn this will have a contagion effect on the economic growth of the country. Well, on our topic today, we keenly focus on how the banks are reaching more to the customers, and in this we look at technology, particularly mobile banking.
Alright, so we went out as a team of us, the three of us. We went out, collected data, and I'm going to talk to you about our results and findings. First of all, just a bit of information, or rather to make you understand what we were doing, is that the study was conducted in Nairobi. Why Nairobi? Nairobi is densely populated, as you know. Then secondly, we went ahead and focused on two banks, that is Equity and KCB. These are the most innovative banks in the country. As you well know that, for example, like right now, Equity has just launched their Equitel, which they want to compete with the Safaricom. And if you think about it, even from a strategic perspective, one of the things that I think Equitel are planning to do is to go head on the mobile banking sector. And for example, right now we know that if you want to purchase goods, you can use Lipa and M-Pesa, but what that does is that it takes money directly from your own M-Pesa account. What Equitel wants to do is to combine that with banking, and instead of now Lipa and M-Pesa and taking money from your account, you can Lipa and M-Pesa and it actually loans you. Now just think about that. That is basically changing the entire ballgame in this industry. So that's the reason why we focus on Equity and KCB. They have the highest market share. And one of the things that we did, rather in terms of the methodologies, that we used questionnaires and interviews, of course, well, out of a sample of about 100, that is what we collected, and that is how we went about our analysis. So data analysis, we analyzed our data. It would have been nice if you are in class, Dr. Maranga, so that you present it in a chart somewhere on a board, but then I'll try to make you understand it through a presentation. So we looked at consumers aged between 26 to 35 years, of which 26% were below 25 years, 19% were between 36 to 45 years, then about 6% were about 45 years. I don't know which bracket you fall in, but I know definitely I fall in somewhere there. Then we also looked at the different, I mean, if you look at the age groups, different age groups will have different perspectives to different topics. So that is why, especially if you're talking about the services that a bank offers, definitely a youth or somebody who's below 19 years is going to give you a different perspective from somebody who's about 45 years. So that is why it was good in terms of data analysis just to look at that. And then something else that we also looked at is in terms of education. We looked at 19% had at least primary education and 37% had post-secondary education. Again, education is important when you're looking at how somebody perceives the services that the banking sector offers in this particular case. In terms of employment, again, majority of our respondents were employed. 31% were in wage employment, 21% were self-employed. Again, this is very, very critical, because if you look at it, most of the people who are wage employed and earn a wage, actually they receive their salaries through a bank, whereas the ones who are self-employed are the ones who they keep their money under the mattresses, under the pillows, like some of our cousins who go back home. I'm sure in the village you'll find they don't have a banking or rather they don't have a bank account, and that's the reason why they may not primarily get some services from the bank. So in terms of the data analysis, that's just a breakthrough of how we went about it.
As Peter discussed the data analysis, I'm here to give you the findings, which are the factors affecting service quality within the banking sector. So the first one is core services, and in this, a customer will be looking at the core competencies of the person who's serving them. Definitely, everyone would want a staff member who's serving them to know everything about the product. For instance, right now, the increase of interest rates, noting that the KBRR has increased. The second one is employees who know how to treat their customers. Of course, you will want someone who's serving you with a smile on their face, and also an employee who knows how to serve customers who are young, like the Generation Y, or the very aged, without giving other examples. Also, sufficient number of employees. We've had you giving examples of how there are many long queues, for instance, in Equity Bank, but you will never find even one teller missing in that bank. However, there are other banks in Kenya where you will find only 2 tellers in one banking hall. The other is the bank's image is appealing. Well, for instance, the KCB have color green, which is my favorite, which makes it very appealing as compared to their competitor whose color scheme I'm not so sure. The other is convenience. That is the second factor we're looking at. And for instance, location of the ATMs. I understand in Barichache in your village, there are 2 ATMs already and enough agents. The other is number of branches should be enough and convenient. For instance, if you're to look at Equity Bank, so far it has 170 branches within Kenya. But without giving examples, we have very many in Kibera, we have very many in Kisii. I understand even in Kisii town you have some other 3 branches. Wherever you go, definitely I also know Equity has improvised and has agents such that your mama mboga can also be an agent for you and will easily give you banking services. The other part on convenience is the location of branches. We have put branches and mini branches, so to speak, even in Kakuma, where we do not have any other banking there.
And the third factor is continuity. This is where the banks are able to offer different products and lifestyles and services to help you with your lifestyle. So for example, as a doctor, you do not want to queue in the main banking hall with the business people and the mama mbogas, but instead you want to be in an environment where you can be able to interact with your relationship manager as they offer you some of your lifestyle services. So for example, they have custom-made services such as discounts for when you travel, say to Spain for your ISC trips, and if you want to go to the spa, they will have a product that just suits you right, and different other products. For the young people, they'll be able to give you discounts, say to your favorite hair salon or to the clubs where you visit in Westlands and Hurlingham and so on. That way you feel a connection with the products that the bank has to offer you. The fourth factor is the resolution of problems. How quickly, when you come up with a problem, are they able to solve it for you? How quickly are you able to get a call back from your relationship manager? How quickly are you able to dial your customer care and you get an answer, or do you have to have a 10-minute waiting time while you wait for your problem to be resolved? So the responsiveness of the bank's services, the relationship managers, and so on to your current problems is what makes you develop a relationship with the bank and say, for me, Equity or KCB is the bank for me, and I'm not really moving. So you end up having customers that are lifetime customers for you, and they even incorporate their children, their cousins, their nephews into the bank.
So we've taken you through the introduction, we've taken you through data analysis. You've heard Winnie and Joy talk about the factors that are affecting service quality in banks. So let me just say now, our study now for the conclusion, the study concludes that the long queue in the banks, the time to handle irregular issues and general problems, they definitely affect the service quality within the banks. And to resolve this, QFD will help in incorporating the number of customers and average time spent by one customer, so as to reduce time taken by one person on the system. So generally that's the conclusion that we came up with in this study, and we do believe that that's a conclusion worth noting, not only for Equity, KCB, but all the banks within the banking financial systems in Kenya. So Dr. Marwanga, that was our assignment. We fulfilled it, and we do hope that you're going to give us a straight A in this unit. Thank you very much. On behalf of my good team members, we say ciao.